So I had my MD record this Celeste part for me. And I actually took that tempo and I stretched the audio. Well, actually, I had him take the MIDI from those parts and literally play it at a slower tempo so that I could play it much slower, but actual tempo is, right? So now, because I have that smaller sample, longer sample, I can now play either shorter lengths in between them or the longer lengths, so giving me more space. The one thing that was messing me up with this, though, there's a particular tremolo, basically a means of creating a synth of space, kind of like a chorus, but instead of it being modulating the pitch, it's modulating volume, right? So I was having the problem of if I'm slicing a tremolo and I'm free in time, then those waveforms wouldn't add up because I could be where I'm playing timing-wise, I could play things faster, but the waveform's playing at the original speed, right? So what I needed to do was have the tremolo be a separate effect. And how we're going to be able to do that within Drum Rack is using our sends and our receives from the input-output list. So originally when you pull up your Drum Rack, I don't think it's going to pop up with your I/O. So if you look on this left side, we got I/O. Click that sucker up. You're going to see receive, play like we were doing before with the multi, right? Then we have our chokes, basically a means of turning off another button if it's played at the same time. Like in this case, I have chokes all set to channel 1. And what that's doing is it's making sure that I don't have two notes playing at the same time, because in this performance, I don't want two notes to be firing. It's going to sound bad. So notice how each one is cutting each one off. Each one is cutting each other off, sorry. So basically from there, I'm going to click S for sends. You can see it's going to pop up my sends here. And then when I click sends, it will also pop up my returns. As you can see, I already have something called tremolo. What I'm going to do, well, what you would do is obviously drag that plugin into this audio effects area. You could either do that, or you could set up an audio rack if you're trying to set up like a whole signal chain within your bus. You go from there. I'm going to select all the chains that I want to feed that tremolo. I'm going to send A to that because A stands for tremolo in this case. As you can tell, for the string, the pizzicatos, I do not want to have on that tremolo. So that means I'm not going to send that. And yet again, you could, if you didn't want to mess with like a dry wet situation, you can literally send just all that audio to the bus so that it doesn't hit the output of the track. It actually goes straight to the audio effect. And then from the audio effect, I can have it go wherever I want. In this case, I have it just going to the main output through the track, right? But I can also have it send to my aux tracks here. So A and B, of course, standard being reverb or delay. That is also a possibility if you're trying to send different sorts of information to your front of house engineer, recording maybe multiple different parts like hi-hats you want to have separate from your kicks. This is another way for you to do that.